All right, everybody, we're back. So here's kind of roughly where we've been, and here's where we're going. The French Revolution, the guillotine. You can see why 1800 is going to be a big deal and why it's going to change things. So we come out of the Renaissance, and people have this idea that we're going to apply reason to human affairs. We're going to apply that scientific idea, and we're going to progress, and things are going to be great. And we get two geniuses who imagine into existence a completely different social order, political liberalism. We've got natural rights. Everybody's free. Everybody's equal. Limitations on government. That ends in 1789 with the French Revolution. Now, obviously, cutting people's heads off is not what John Locke had in mind, but the people who did that were freed from the traditional social order, and what happened was complete chaos. We have another genius, Adam Smith, who creates this idea of the market economy, the wealth of nations. If we're all allowed to truck and barter and we have a division of labor, then everybody's going to be raised up. He actually used the term general opulence. What ends up happening? The Industrial Revolution. And if you know anything about the Industrial Revolution, you know that some people ended up in factories that were horrible. They ended up destitute in cities, working 12-hour days, children working. What happened? In some ways, these are just the natural consequences of these ways of thinking. You change the social order, and what you get is a French Revolution where we'll show those aristocrats, and an Industrial Revolution where, yeah, these people that I'm competing with, or these people that I am putting in my factory, if I am pursuing my rational self-interest, trying to get wealthy, the invisible hand will take care of things. I don't have to care about those people. So, this is what happens around 1800. This is 1789. The Industrial Revolution starts in the 1700s, goes into the 1800s. We hit the early 1800s, and all of a sudden, for these reasons, people are starting to think, maybe we need to understand what's going on. Maybe just trying this kind of experiment is not going to work. Maybe we didn't know what this thing was that we're changing. Remember, for 99% of human experience, we didn't do this. Now all of a sudden we do this, and everything is chaos. So, this is the world in 1800 that Auguste Comte, that Alexis de Tocqueville, that Harriet Martineau are all going to be addressing. Those are going to be our first theorists that we're going to learn about. The perspective that I want us to take, remember, is so these things are, the things that we studied in history. For us, we're used to the idea of, the capitalism's hard. I mean, some people lose. We're used to the idea that sometimes there's going to be political violence because people feel as though their rights have been infringed upon and they don't handle it in a nonviolent way. To the people who are watching this happen and are thinking about it in the early 1800s, try to put yourself in their perspective. This stuff had never happened before. This idea of peasants chopping off aristocrats' heads, that wasn't something that happened. In feudalism, there were way more peasants than there were lords. It didn't matter. They didn't rise up, ever. These ideas led to that happening. The Industrial Revolution, it's the first time that I'm aware of in human existence where people are starving to death, not because of a war and not because of a famine. In peace times, but because of this guy's ideas, that is allowed to happen. The people who are studying it look at it and just say, my God, what did we do to this thing that must exist, society? What did we do? What must society be like that if you make these changes, you end up with these outcomes? That's where we're going to go in the next video. This is just a transition to take us to the first people who start talking about it. So in our next video, we're going to meet Auguste Comte, and what we're going to talk about is this invisible thing called society, and what are his first inferences about how it must work. So I'll see you in that video.